Okay, so I have a message here for my creatives, my entrepreneurs, anyone who really relies on themselves and like their creativity and their minds. It's basically all on you to like run your lifestyle. This is like your money, everything lies solely on your shoulders. This message is for you. I'm getting that like your guides are here heavily right now to be like, when are you going to realize that you are enough? I'm getting that some of you recently had like a big win in either your creative endeavors, your projects, your business, what have you. It was like the biggest deal you've done so far. I'm seeing like contracts being signed in my mind's eye that you've done, like the biggest deal you've done so far. And it's like a repeated pattern with you that it's like every win in your creative pursuits in your business is never big enough, is never enough. That I channeled this a while back, something about like a business owner, like you got the business papers, you went into business and you immediately went into like, how do I get clients? You got your client, you know, and then it was like, how do I scale? How do I do this? How do I do this? And it's like, you've just been constantly achieving, but not recognizing your worth and not recognizing, like how much you've done. You're not celebrating what you've done. It's interesting. I've got Dream World at the back of my deck. Like you're literally living your dreams and you're like stressed out about it and you're not celebrating yourself whatsoever. And what came to the table here is that you recently had like one of the biggest wins you've had in your creative pursuits, in your business. And instead of celebrating it, it just hit you at like the next big thing fell onto your plate. You're like, okay, well, you know, this isn't going to be enough money for me to launch this. So how am I going to get the extra money to go after this project? And it's like, when are you going to like take a step back and have this moment with yourself and be like, you know, I've made it here so far. It's a scarcity mindset, but it's a survival instinct that I'm getting that some of you have had trouble shaking. And I'm getting that this is like a childhood wound. This is something from your past. See, this is Six of Trees here. There's reciprocity here, that you still haven't trusted that everything that you have put out is coming back to you in its due time. That you started off like you were this person who got the business papers and had this like, how am I ever going to land a client? And then you landed a client and then you got, you know, more. And then recently you just had like your biggest one. That's sort of what I'm getting here. It's like you've had your biggest win and you're like, okay, but that's still not enough for me to go do this. So I need to figure out something else and how I'm going to get this going and like how to scale. And it's this scarcity that needs to leave, that you're really being forced into a mindset shift, because this isn't going to sustain you. That some of you may be feeling burnt out in your business, you may be feeling burnt out in your creative endeavors and want to give it up altogether, when this is literally everything that you have worked so hard for and everything that you've built. And it's just, you need a perspective shift here. And it's all just trust in yourself, where it's, if you've had this idea and you've been going for it and it's working so far, you need to trust that that bigger thing that you're scared of down the line is going to work out as well, and just focus on where you're at right now. It's a lot of getting in the present moment is what I'm really picking up on. There's past lives. So this is very much, like I said, we're an inner child wound, or even some of you, this could be carried through multiple lifetimes, like different incarnations, and that this is something you need to transcend in this lifetime. I don't know why I've got checking like your North Node and South Node. Yeah, where I have, this is the sacrifice card here. This is the Hangman. This is a shift in perspective. What's being asked of you to sacrifice is this survival instinct, because that's really what's coming through, is that if you've just landed like your biggest deal, your biggest client, your biggest project, whatever it is, and you're like, you need to see that this is who you are now, that the only thing coming down the road for you is something better, that you're worried about, how am I going to get to this next step? Trust that it's going to work out, because back when you had just gotten those business papers, it was a complete blank slate in front of you. It was the biggest question mark of your life, and you've gotten to this point. You've gotten to this point of landing the biggest deal. I don't know why I keep hearing $10,000 deal. Some of you may have done a $10,000 deal, but you're like, you know, if it's not 10 million on the paper, it doesn't matter to you. And this is just, this mindset needs to be sacrificed now, I'm getting, because when you do hit that 10 million, it's going to feel like this. When you hit 10 million, it's going to be like, well, why isn't it, you know, 100 million? Yeah, Three of Birds. There's a heartbreak here, and that's what needs to be sacrificed. Whatever hurt from the past that is causing you to see everything as not enough, and understand that this is an inner wounding. That it's not that your circumstances aren't enough. It's not that your achievements aren't enough. It's that you don't believe you're enough. You don't believe that you can get to that next level. That's why you get scared when you achieve a goal. It's automatically on to the next thing, out of like a self-worth. That it's, I don't know if you've had people diminish you. I'm guessing that's part of it. This could be family, this could have been friends, authority figures, that it's like everything you did wasn't enough. So you were raised with that mindset that it's like hitting goals aren't enough. They have to be almost unattainable or unachievable. And it's interesting where I have this romantic card here, that this is the energy that your guides want you to be in, romanticizing your life, seeing everything as a win, even the smallest things, because 555 on my timer, there's change here. There's a change in perspective, a change in mindset that's happening here. Is that you're blocking yourself, you're blocking your blessings, and you're blocking your opportunities by having such a narrow mindset. And that it's also, I'm hearing like as you get bigger, like you're going to be more in the spotlight, more people are going to see you. And it's not a good look to like have a big win and not acknowledge it. That's part of what's coming through as well, is that this is like a graciousness kind of energy, and you're not realizing this because this is a survival, this is like a survival mindset. Interesting. This is the High Priestess at the back of my deck, and where it's in reverse, I'm getting there's some illusion here that you're not seeing. Again, this needs to be released, this survival mindset, and lean more into appreciation and seeing how far you've come, and that even if it's still not where you want to be, or there's a lot of things still going wrong in your life, that it's like you've made it this far. And if you've made it this far, then you can trust that you're going to achieve whatever it is that's on the horizon, and that whatever problems that you have right now aren't going to be problems down the road. So it's sort of like, let that go. It's like a stop and smell the flowers. I've been seeing a lot of daisy imagery. So flowers, daisies, roses could be significant to you. That it's like, take a minute, bees as well. I've been seeing a lot of bees on flowers. So it's like, take a minute to stop and appreciate everything around you, appreciate the life around you, appreciate the people you have in your life, and sort of like slow it down a little bit. There's been a lot of like slow down energy, that it's all you want to do is achieve. And it's like, life isn't just a list that you can check off. Enjoy what you're doing, enjoy what you have, and enjoy the process. And this is like, release this survival mindset. And I'm hearing like, work with your guides on this, do the shadow work, do whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself out of this, because I'm getting that this is a lifelong pattern. So like, be easy with yourself. You're undoing a lifetime of a certain mindset, but start leaning much more into romanticizing your life. And like, I'm hearing like, if it stresses you out, like if you're feeling stressed, that is your sign to like go do something else, to like go take a walk, to go get yourself, you know, a coffee, or like go sit in the park for a little bit. And I'm hearing for some of you, you're like, I'm stressed all the time. And like, what's really coming through is then you need to take that much time to yourself, that you need to lean a little bit on the divine, so that you can see that everything truly is working out for you, whether you've got both hands in it all the time or hands off, that everything is truly working out for you. And that it will eliminate whatever burnout that you're feeling, because I'm getting an energy of burnout coming through in something that you truly love and are actually really good at. And it's because of the pressure that you're putting on yourself, that it's nothing is ever enough. And it's like, you need to see that, yeah, you are enough, and this is enough, and you're doing great, and you've achieved much more than you've realized, but you're not feeling it because you haven't taken the time to step back and celebrate yourself. And I mean, really celebrate yourself. And I'm getting for some of you like a more hands-off approach. You're actually going to see how much you have created and how much it is sustaining yourself. So it's like, take the risk and have your hands off for a little bit, because you may be pleasantly surprised at how things now grow without your hands totally in it. I'm seeing like a garden, and it's like, once everything starts to pop up, it's sort of like, all you have to do is pick the fruit now. It's like, you don't really have to tend to it as much. You just need to reap the rewards. So I'm getting, it's kind of like a get out of your own way kind of energy. So if this resonates with you, let me know. If you'd like your own personal reading with me, you can head to the link at the top of my page. They're in my Etsy shop. And also check out my Substack while you're there. Thanks, guys.